The following tabletop session contains depictions of the following. It is a piece of horror media made to disquiet and disturb. Viewer discretion is advised. Please enjoy the show. Happy Halloween! The four of you went to bed the same as you've gone to bed thousands of times. Whether you sleep well, sleep lightly, or sleep fitfully, it doesn't matter. The point is, your eyes close and you drift to sleep. You feel nothing abnormal. Everything feels the same as it's always felt. There's maybe a small sensation of a drop that's pretty common with people when you fall asleep. That small sensation of falling when your blood pressure falls, and your heart rate slows, and your body doesn't know what to make of the sensation. But you sleep as you've always slept, and you wake as you always wake. When your eyes open, the ceiling that you look up at is not your own. You don't know where you are. You don't know how you were moved. As far as you're aware, nothing touched you. You were sleeping. You awaken, though, on the floor, staring at a beautiful, ornate ceiling. And as you sit up and look around at your surroundings, you are laying on the center floor of a courthouse. There are four of you. It is quiet, and you are alone. What do you do?
Reminder to self, don't drink bourbon before bed.
I'm just gonna wake up like, I swear I checked the drinks this time.
Luis is gonna wake up and pinch himself just to make sure he's not dreaming.
It hurts.
This feels like a dream. Well, shit, he'll get up then.
Duncan is going to get up and take in his surroundings.
Yeah, Howard is gonna start popping his joints and stretch like he normally does when he wakes up and looks at his body, am I still just in my boxers or am I just fully dressed?
You're dressed.
I'm gonna check myself for everything that I'm usually wearing whenever I'm at work.
Am I dressed?
Everything that you were wearing before you changed into your pajamas for bed, everything you carried with you is on you currently.
So I'm just gonna look down and like, okay, so I wasn't drugged, I don't think. This is not the position I'd wake up in.
Do I see anything else that is peculiar about our surroundings? Anything that gives me any information on where we are? If we're at all anywhere in the United States?
Roll a spot hidden check.
Okay. Okay, that's pretty good. That's a 37. Nope. I needed a 25. That's a fail.
Okay. No. Nothing that immediately jumps out at you.
Is there anybody around us at this point?
Nope, it's just the four of you.
Can I roll to see if there's anything weird in the room?
You may also roll a spot hidden if you so desire.
I'm probably going to fail it, but I will roll it anyway because my thing is low. Yeah, I failed it. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna do some checking myself.
Go for it.
Yeah, I fail.
No.
Do I recognize any of the people in this room?
Nope, none of you recognize each other.
I'm usually used to strangers, but it's for a completely different reason. Usually they're dead. Is there, like, pews or anything anywhere I could sit?
Yeah, it's It's basically it's the like. Oh god, there's a fucking room for it. There's a word for the room that the trials take place in. The
Court?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, basically you're sitting in the floor where the prosecutors walk back and where the prosecutors? Yeah, the two prosecutors. The attorneys walk back and forth.
I'm gonna take a look over at the judge and witness stands.
Howard.
You climb up. You notice that the gavel is missing,
Oh.
but there's nothing. Otherwise, there's nothing super strange to you at an immediate strike.
Is there no one in here?
Nope, just the four of you.
Howard's gonna look at everybody and assess it. Well, I don't know about you, but usually I don't see this part.
Oh, I do all the time, just never empty.
I'm gonna see if I can try and find the gavel.
Okay. Roll another spot hidden check.
Okay. Ooh, that's a 2!
Ooh.
You look around. A little more carefully because you're looking for like a specific object.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see it. It seems like it's been removed. It's just not here. But as you're kind of getting down to look on the floor, you catch notice of something else.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 doors in this room. There's one at the back, clearly where the audience is supposed to come and sit. There's one on the left side, which you know is where the bailiff takes out the person on trial. And then there is one on the right, which is where you leave the jury box to go and deliberate. And the only way you can get up is to the judge's seat is by the bailiff's door. And you notice, upon, just looking around, on the floor especially, these doors aren't real.
That's the doors. And
not only do they not move, they're not real. They are part of the wall.
Braxton.
Well, I guess since we're going to be here for Lord knows how long.
Are the windows part of the wall too?
There's no windows in here.
I guess we should introduce ourselves. Anybody offering?
Well, certainly not me.
Well, if I have to go first, Howard stands up. He's a very tall, broad-shouldered man. He's wearing a white dress shirt, a red tie, black slacks, a black leather belt, black leather shoes, sleeves rolled up to his elbows. You can see tufts of body hair on the forearms and popping out of the collar. Standard thick brim glasses that you would see at an accountant, but clearly he looks like he's never crunched a number in his life if he had to. My name is Howard. I'm a detective for a company. I tend to go in and try to see if a fraud may have happened in certain situations. I'm 35. I'm single. He looks at Eva. He looks at Eva. Into dudes, so you're fine.
Ugh, well, that's unfortunate.
Anyone else? We only going by my name only.
I'm gonna kind of stand up, and you see this short little, kind of slender-ish figure, and she little. Okay, let's just put it like that. She little, and she's got this dark brown hair. She's got a bit of a scar above her left eyebrow. She just kind of looks around the room and is like, I'm Eva Qrow, and for the sake of the man of the law here, we'll just say that I work one of the oldest professions known to man.
Oh, trust me. I don't work for the police.
No kidding.
Luis sighs and stands and says, yeah, but unfortunately I do. Detective Iglesias.
Ah.
active detective.
Well, this is going to be an unfortunate evening.
And he is also very tall, very broad. He has a black turtleneck, classic detective's trench coat, as you see in movies, a really worn, almost kind of gross-looking scarf with very clear sentimental value. And just in general, he looks very tired. He's definitely seen a lot in his time on the force. Yeah, he just kind of sits back down and he's thinking. He's doing a think. He's considering.
Oh, 2 detectives, a working girl, I can assume.
I think
You
some
assume.
prefer the name escort.
That works too. And a doctor.
Dr.
Foxglove.
Is that Foxglove the first name, or...
It's the last name, but it's usually just a formality. Duncan Foxglove, if you must know.
There we go. Yes, I do. Prefer first names. So, just prefer first names.
We don't usually stick to those kinds of formalities in my area.
Just doctor, that's fine. Has anyone been hurt?
Check my body.
No, you're all fine.
Seemed good to me.
That's new.
I certainly don't feel lethargic. I don't know if anyone else feels like they have been drinking one too many. Or anything worse than that.
Just a glass.
Oh, trust me, not usually willingly.
My condolences. Honestly, there should be more respect for the profession, if you ask me.
It is what it is. Not really getting into it right now. So,
So,
what?
just to describe Duncan real quick, because I'm the only one that hasn't yet. Duncan is a kind of a slender-looking young man. His attire is a bit unusual. It's still very sharply dressed, but he seems to have a bit of an affinity for 1920s style clothing, to the point that his suit really does look like something out of like a film noir. He's got dark, slick back, medium-length black hair with a bit of gray coming in, likely due from stress. He's got bags under his eyes and bright apple green eyes. When he talks, there's a subtle hint of an accent. You can't quite place it, but yeah.
You're not from the past, are you?
No, I'm from present year, if you may ask.
What kind of a question is that?
Look, we all woke up here, not knowing each other. No one is here. That door isn't real, it seems. Anything's possible, you know? They could be from the 1910s, and for all I know.
Just because
First of all,
we didn't
this
come in
is-
through a wall doesn't mean we didn't come in through a basement or ceiling or some kind of thing.
I'm just saying.
How about you do something useful, detective, and actually start looking for said trapdoors, maybe in the ceiling or the floor, anything like that?
I only take orders from people who pay me.
We are kind of in a situation where we are trapped in a room and we don't know where we are. There are no actual doors, there are no windows, and we don't really have any information aside from the fact that we're in a courtroom with no gavel at the judge's stand. So I would suggest,
Luis
please,
Luis
a little
just
bit of
kind of-
cooperation.
puts a hand up to stop him and then sighs and says, I'll take a look around, see what I can find. And I'll look for any
Thank you.
doors or trapdoors or anything.
Roll spot hidden checks.
I can do that.
Yep. That's a 99.
Oof.
That? What is it? Kayden, my dearest, my baby child.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have in spot hidden?
25. Base level.
That, my dear boy, is a botch.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
I will make
I
note.
got... I got an 85, And my spot hidden is 50, so...
Okay, so you just failed.
Okay.
Okay. No, you don't find anything.
Can I try looking in the corners or on the floors and see if there's any entrance or exit?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna fail this one.
The same.
89.
I'm gonna look in the ceilings for the same.
Go for it.
96. That's a fail.
What do you have in that?
It's a base. 25.
That is also a botch.
Alright.
So you proceed to just look around, trying to see what you can find, and it doesn't seem like it. Everything seems not, I would say not abnormally sealed, but the doors aren't real, so a little abnormally sealed. As you proceed to look around, you kind of confer that, no, it doesn't seem like there's really any way in or out as far as you can find. The bailiff door opens, and someone, ? Walks in and closes the door behind them. You hesitate upon first viewing them to say person. Person feels wrong, even though, by every account, it should be a person, right? They're just abnormally tall, and not particularly long in any way, like a normal human proportion, simply bigger. Not wider, not skinnier, not narrower, taller, just bigger. A person bigger than a person should be. Has to lean their head down a little as they walk in. Nothing about them, aside from their size, really feels distinctly abnormal. Until they take their seat at the judge's stand, and they're a little too big for it, but it seems like they don't have any trouble sitting, as if their body adjusts to the seat rather than the other way around. And their eyes, the most striking part, are dark. Big. Too big. A little too big. They have dark hair that they've sort of slicked back into... Well, everything about them, stylistically speaking, is very neutral, very normal, very natural. Except for the few things about them that aren't. They sit, they fold their arms, and put into its place the judge's gavel, not really paying you any mind, as if you weren't even there, really. And then once they've made themselves comfortable, they turn, lift their heads, and they look at you with those strangely large, round eyes, and say, "We'll have your seats then."
Howard puts his hands up, sits in the chair. Sits in one of the chairs. All right.
Eva kind of subconsciously just rolls her eyes and goes over to the defendant's corner.
Oh no,
Yeah, Luis will sit.
no. He lifts the gavel and he gestures. Very smooth. Like, no wasted movement. And he points to the jury bench. He says, no. Your seats. Have your seats then.
Wow, this is new.
You know, you could have just sent a letter. just saying.
Sorry, are we not going to actually remind ourselves that that door was not even actually a door?
I'm putting in the assumption if he's powerful enough to create some whatever the fuck that was. The last thing I want to do is start asking questions right now.
He just continues to look at you, by the way. Like, his head doesn't move. He's just kind of watching you, waiting for all of you to sit.
Duncan's gonna look at Howard, just, like, give him a raised eyebrow of, like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And, he begrudgingly, but without grumbling, and without putting up much of a fight, he takes a seat on the jury stand.
I will do the same. And I will just kind of brush this seat a little bit before I even think of sitting down on it.
Yeah, Luis will go and sit in the jury stand.
Once you all have taken your seats, he reaches into the suit jacket that he's wearing, removes a pair of glasses that are the correct size for his, again, unnaturally large and round eyes, puts them on, and says, "For the duration of the trial, you may refer to me as the Proctor, or Your Honor, as the common parlance goes, I suppose. You are here to be the jury, to judge those of your peers. However, you are, too, being assessed. One of you, in particular, has committed an act by which there is no forgiveness. And by the end of our time together in this courthouse today, I will know which of you will be sentenced." And he sort of trails off as if he's trying to remember sentenced to what? And you see him his expression sort of shifts, like he's confused why he's forgetting. Sentenced. Yes, sentenced. And he looks back down at the stand, and then turns a little too quickly to you, his head snapping at a speed by which you'd think there should be some sort of crack, but there isn't. He says, eyes wide once again, "Are the terms understandable to you?"
Yes.
I suppose so.
Yes.
Good.
Guess I got no choice to say yes.
Okay. Good. He directs, and he bangs the gavel on the desk once, and the bailiff's door opens again, and someone is pushed out, stumbling forward, hands locked together in, well, not so much handcuffs, they cover their entire hands. Their hands stuck together. And you see just absolute panic written on this person's face. He looks up at the Proctor and begins to panic further. And says, I told you, it wasn't, I didn't have to, and he smacks the gavel, and the man's mouth disappears. He starts to make panicked noises as he attempts to touch his own face, but can't because his hands are locked together. And the Proctor raises a hand and he stills for a minute, still terrified. And he gestures to the witness stand. "Take your seat." He obeys, shaking, looking at you pleadingly as if to beg for any kind of assistance here, as if there was anything you could do in the first place. And he sits. And the Proctor says, "You are not permitted to speak out of turn. Should you speak again before a question is directed to your person, you will once again be silenced. And your sentencing will occur early." Do you understand? Takes him a minute. He looks around, shaking, crying, but nods. Good. The gavel is smacked again and his mouth reappears. He gasps for air, even though he wasn't denied it. He could still breathe through his nose. But seems to pant for a minute, trembling in his seat. He folds his hands. Proctor folds his hands over the jury stand. You stand convicted of assisting in the demise of 14 at the hands of an entity by which you willingly chose allegiance. He turns and he looks at all of you. Each of you, each of the jury, he clarifies because he can see the guy about to open his mouth. Each of the jury is allowed one singular question of this man, or of me, and you will decide. There is no time limit. You may confer with each other. And any question directed at me or at him in that time frame counts. Nod if you understand.
Howard nods.
Nothing nods.
I know.
Yeah, he nods.
Commence. He bangs the gavel.
So I think one of us is going to have to sadly sacrifice our question for the most simple one.
Being...
Sacrifice to who?
Well, I mean, that's not clear. It was apparently to a deity of some kind, or some entity that he followed. Probably some pagan god or something.
We don't even know if who he killed was a man, woman, or child, just the fact that he killed.
14.
Or even if he's a human at all.
That's a good point as well. Keeper. Does this...
The proctor raises his head. Yes?
No, I'm talking to you, Heaton.
Oh, me. Yes. Okay, go ahead.
You're the keeper, Heaton.
I forget. I forget.
Does this man look familiar at all?
No.
Okay.
Not to any of you. You don't recognize this man. Would you?
Is he wearing like a suit?
I was going to say, would you like a description?
Yes.
Yes, please.
He seems fairly young. Probably mid-20s. Scruffy blonde hair. Wearing a hoodie a little too large for him. Jeans. Converse sneakers. Everything about him fairly normal. He's a little on the skinny side. If you want a little more, you'd have to roll for it.
Does he look malnourished?
Roll me. Is there a medicine check?
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah, roll me a medicine check. Oh yes,
Okay.
there is.
Is he
Hey!
wearing...
That's a success.
Great. What is your percentile, and then what did you roll?
My percentile, I roll a 50, and the score that I got for medicine is 70.
Okay. So yeah, that's alright, yeah. Malnourished? No. Just on the skinny side. He looks like he's a little maybe underweight for his height and weight, but you would imagine that a college student with a slightly abnormal diet, it's one of those things where he would probably fluctuate up and down 5 to 10 pounds.
Okay.
Does he?
See. Now I'm a little bit nervous.
Does he have like any identifying markers that I may know of?
Nope.
Any identifying markers at all?
Nope.
No scars, no cuts, no bruises?
No scars, no cuts, no bruises. Concerningly so, considering his current predicament.
Yes, that actually does bring in some questions.
Which would mean that the people he killed were obviously people that trusted him.
That's also implying he killed anyone. We don't even know if he killed anyone. He's under trial. That doesn't immediately mean he did it.
I have a strange ask. Would this be anyone that I even remotely recognize?
Roll history check.
Oh, let's see. Do I have history? Yes, I do. This is gonna be bad. Okay.
Go for it.
It's fine. We'll figure it out.
Probably better than the 5% it is normally.
It's not. It's a 50. That's a fail.
No.
I mean, we have a question that we could ask.
Here's the thing. It doesn't need to be a yes or no. It doesn't need to be short.
I kind of have a question I would ask.
Pardon me.
I'll wait until everyone else can decide if they want to ask.
Part of me is thinking we should ask him what he was doing before he was brought to trial. Not in jail or anything of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
What was his day before he was caught, if you will?
Keeper?
Yes.
Is it one question per person or one question for the whole jury?
One question per person was the implication.
Oh, okay.
So you get 4 questions total. Each of you gets to ask one.
Okay, and we can ask either the proctor or the convict.
Yes.
Got it.
I think that's going to be my question. It's defendant is what it is.
He flinches a little and he nods. He looks to the proctor. The proctor nods very slowly, and then he nods as well.
Okay. Now, I was speaking out of character on that one, but
oh yeah,
because I'm stupid. Remember?
Yeah, it sounds like the. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, because I would imagine it's like the start of the sentence is defendant, and I'm picturing him like looking, and the two of them nod to you. That's what you call him.
I'm sorry, I'm usually not at this part of the stage of things. What were you doing the time before you were, for lack of a better term, caught to be put on trial?
He looks nervous, a little unsure, and he looks at the proctor as if confirming that he can answer. Proctor nods slowly again. He says, I was home. I was trying to sleep.
Is that all you did that day?
I think you can only ask him 2. I mean, only ask him 1.
He opens.
It's a clarification. I wouldn't say that's asking more than one question. Proctor, is clarification allowed?
I'm so glad that you did this. Good. You open your mouth to ask your qualifying question. Your mouth is gone. You have asked your question.
He puts his hands up. It's like,
You can still breathe out of your nose. You're not being suffocated.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm not panicking either. It's like I've accepted this type thing.
Oh, I would like you very much. Oh, we'll see about that. I would like it very much if you'd make a sanity check.
Okay. Don't fuck me. Yay! 8.
Good. You do not lose sanity. It's more than a little alarming, especially considering you don't feel it. You know how sometimes when you wake up, your lips are kind of stuck together, and you have to like purse your lips or like say something to pull your mouth open? It feels like that, but when you try and form the sentence, you don't feel your lips roll the way that you do when you speak. And then when you reach up to touch your face, they're just gone. Your face is just smooth where your mouth should be.
So now I have an interesting question for the keeper.
The keeper is Heaton. The proctor is the judge.
Yes.
Yeah. I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for Heaton, Does this mean... I don't know how many people are going to be brought into the courtroom, so does that mean we get one question per each person brought in?
That was what he said, yes.
Cool, alright.
You each get one question for this person.
Cool, alright. That's what I wanted to know. With that being said, I'm going to try to ask my question.
Okay.
The 14 people you're accused of killing, did you know any of them? Or more accurately, were you familiar with any of them?
He sort of pauses. He's not sure how to answer this question. And he kind of stammers, and he starts... He just starts to panic even more. And he says, no, I didn't. I
kind of want to do a psychology check on that.
You can.
Can I do one as well?
You absolutely can. This would this is a contested roll.
Mind if I try?
Go for it.
Oh, damn it, that's a fail. 62.
I got a 19.
16 out of 30, baby.
See, this is the fun part. This is a contested check.
Mm-hmm.
You compare and contrast against the successes of the person. Well, see, that's pretty great. You rolled a 3.
Ah, fuck.
You get nothing.
Can I roll a psychoanalysis?
You can.
Okay.
And he will contest. He will contest that as well.
Okay.
I'm still iffy on his response.
All right. 35 out of 50. So that's a success.
Jesus. My fucking dice are brutal. That's a 13.
Ah! Damn it.
Hey.
He's panicked. You can't tell. He'd be panicked either way. He's afraid he's gonna die. You can't get anything from this. Now, Eva, your mouth disappears. I would like you to make a sanity check.
This is gonna be bad. Oh, that was real bad. That's a 93.
What is your sanity?
45.
Oh.
I was not a sane woman.
No. Now, I'm trying to remember if I give you a number, or if it's what I'm thinking it is, which is that you lose the difference. I think that's it, but we're not gonna do that because it's a one shot, and that would mean that you're in the red like fucking immediately. So if that is the rule, somebody at home, I'm sure there's some TTRPG nerd in the comments who's screaming at me. But we will say lose 5 points.
Thank you.
It is you can still breathe. Again, he didn't close up your nose, you can still breathe. But it is a absolutely horrible experience. The mouth is one of the parts of the human body that is the most important to a person. For expressions, for eating, for communication. And the part that gets you, that really sinks it in, is that your mouth behind the skin that has closed over, you can still feel. Your teeth are still in your jaws, your tongue still in your mouth. You can feel it, you just can't open it anymore.
That sucks. Alright, I'm not doing so hot with that.
Luis, Duncan?
Howard's going to calmly and try to do the whole entire fatherly back rub on Eva to try to just calm her down a bit.
I'm gonna probably go last because I still am pondering what kind of question I can ask at this point.
Okay, I guess that means it's Luis's turn. He's gonna look into the eyes of the defendant and say, "Did you know and understand what you were doing when you killed those people?"
I want you to make an intimidation roll.
Oh, okay. Ooh, okay.
That's not good. That's not good for him.
22.
What is your percentile? What is your threshold?
15.
So that is a failure. However, he failed way harder. He rolled a 78. Your voice falters. You know very well, very unfortunately well, why you ask that question. And so does he, to a certain extent. And even though your voice falters and he can see that you're just as afraid as he is, the weight of it just cracks. He just breaks. And he starts to sob. And he says, Not the first time. I didn't know what it would do. I didn't know what it would do to me. I didn't know what it would do, but it kept asking for more, and I wasn't strong enough to say no. I didn't know what it was going to do to me if I stopped. And he just starts to cry, trying to hide his head in his hands ineffectively. And I need you to make a sanity check.
I can do that. Ooh. So my sanity is 60, and I rolled a 60.
That is still a success. It has to be the same same or under. So it's still a success, you lose no sanity. It still doesn't feel good. You just like Howard, you just don't panic about it. It's your heart rate increases a little bit, and it's one of those things, like seeing it happen and seeing how every time someone reaches up to touch their face, you'd think that your instinct wouldn't be to do the same, but boy howdy, it's weird.
Okay. I was gonna make a joke about sign language, but I'm gonna refrain from now.
I mean, you can sure try.
And lose my hands? No, thank you.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Howard's
no,
just
but
gonna...
I know you.
It's fair.
Howard's gonna look at Luis and just give him a nod, like, got him.
Doctor.
Luis doesn't really acknowledge. He just leans back and holds his arms over his chest.
Doctor, it is your turn.
I'm going to look over to the Proctor, because I think that Duncan knows everything that he needs to know about this person in general. He's not particularly interested at this point, and he wants to know what the boundaries are, at least at this point, in this state that he's in right now. And he basically asks, for future trials like this, Your Honor, are we allowed to step out of the jury box and physically examine if necessary? Some of us have professions that require such examinations.
You see his, sort of relaxed expression. You see his eyes go big again. Like he was not expecting you to ask him something like that. And then his expression relaxes again. And he says, request approved. You will not have to waste... And then he thinks a minute. That feels like the wrong word. And he says, no. Not waste. No. Not use? Use. Yes. Yes. Not use. No? No. Yes. It will count as one of your questions. As he sort of confers with himself, as he seems to think, he does the thing that, you know how when somebody talks into a Bluetooth, how they kind of move their head towards you move your head towards the phone, even though you physically can't see the person you're talking to. He seems to do that for a minute and sort of look in different directions, as if he's listening to somebody else tell him what he can and can't say. But when he comes to his conclusion and says that counts as one of your questions, again, he just snaps his attention back to you, and his eyes are a little wide again before he seems to relax. The witness stand then opens. He looks tentatively towards the proctor, who nods for him to step out. He stands in the middle of the room, sort of assuming that's where he's supposed to be. And the proctor looks at all of you, his eyes wide again, and then says, "Make your decision." And then you see him pick up the gavel, but not smack it yet. He's waiting for you to pass your verdict. The guy in question is just sobbing, begging, pleading that he didn't know what he was doing. He had no choice. He was afraid. He's not making a whole lot of sense. Some of the things he's saying start to contradict one another. Basically, he's saying anything he thinks will work. He's a kid. He's afraid.
Can I take a psychology check one last time?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would like to do the same.
You can speak again.
73, I fail.
Okay.
Not a critical fail, just a fail.
He's just very scared.
Woo! I got a 12!
I'm gonna make my psychoanalysis check.
Let's get everybody who wants to do one before I...
96, that's a not good. That's a fail.
What is your psychology?
My psychoanalysis and my psychology are 50.
That is a botch.
Yeah.
No, it's 60. If you have a 60 in it, then 99 or 100 are the scratch.
Oh.
So yeah, that's still that's scratch.
I got a 12 though. What do I get?
Very good. The two of Howard and Dr. Foxglove, it's hard. He's terrified. Like this, he's sobbing and pleading. He's a mess. He can barely stand. He's hyperventilating. He has no idea what's going on. You can't get a clean read on it if it's intentional or not. He's just afraid. But Eva, you know what this is like. You've seen this before. You've known plenty of girls in your profession. You've seen this before. You've seen a girl sob and fall down and scream and cry, terrified that the slightest mistake is going to be her last night alive.
Right.
It is, for you, it is heartbreakingly genuine. This kid is certain that he is going to die.
Do we have our mouths back?
Yeah.
Try to gather all four of us together. So what do you think?
That reaction he had back there was too genuine, too real. I don't think he actually knew any of the people that he supposedly killed. And even if he did, I don't think he understood what was going on.
But sadly, that also means he killed them.
According to what his answer was, he didn't know the first time. But the other 13 times is a different story altogether.
Feel sympathy for him.
My major worry is we don't know the motive. We know a voice, but we don't know a name. Don't know anything else. I feel like that's kind of a missed opportunity, but...
We know that he was doing this in service to some sort of entity.
Which is what he's under trial for.
Maybe it's not an entity. What if it's somebody he's working under that's made him believe it's some sort of entity? And if that's the case...
Consider the same thing, couldn't it? I mean, a group could be considered an entity.
Either way, keeping him alive would probably lead you closer to the responsible parties than killing him off, wouldn't it?
Yes, but that's not our job. That's not our position to make.
It is our
And
position.
we don't
to
know
make
if he's going to do this again or not.
We're dealing with a situation. We have an admission. We have a motive. We don't know what caused the motive, but we have a motive. and he's under trial for those two specific things, which he just admitted that he did. He is guilty, and we all know it. Reasoning or not, it's just the sad truth of the matter. I don't like this as much as you do, Eva, trust me. We're missing a lot of dots, but I gotta finish this up. Who knows, maybe the next person will be connected to this and we can get more information about this entire cabal, if anything.
Or maybe the next person might be one of us.
We are the jury. He has plainly made it that at the end of all of this, not now.
It will be us.
Eva kind of sits back. She realizes there's really nothing that she can do to kind of sway anyone's mind on this. But she does look at everyone else and she says, I would just like to point out, the Proctor made it very clear, we're not exactly innocent parties in all of this either. And if it comes down to it, where we're sitting in that stand, I would like for someone to have at least some level of understanding of the history behind what was done and why.
How are you supposed to get something like that out of 4 questions? Genuinely.
Think about the questions carefully and ask them.
But we don't have time for a sob story is the major thing. There's a bigger plot.
Proctor made it very clear that we actually had plenty of time.
We have plenty of time, but with little information. Plenty of time with little information is like playing chess without the kings.
You're a detective, are you not?
I am a detective, and I'm telling you, I know a bad situation when I see one. This kid is going to die, no matter what we do.
And if he lives, who's to say that the entity does not get to him?
Howard points at Luis, like, exactly. This kid is a dead man walking. He even knows that. And if it isn't an entity, whoever's been fixating this information into their brain is going to find out and kill them. If anything, we could be giving them a mercy killing.
Or it could be worse. We just don't know. It's a leap of faith that we have to take.
I look at the Proctor. I give a thumbs down.
When you turn and you look at the Proctor before you do anything, it strikes you very suddenly to the point that it almost makes you jump a little. He is staring at you.
At me?
At all of you. It is as if this person in the middle of the room does not exist. His eyes are wide, open as full as they can, his pupils dilated to almost an extent that they take up the entirety of his expression. He is completely and utterly still as if an animatronic that has been turned off. And you realize, as you do this, he has not moved since the very moment that he told you to make your decision, and he has been staring at you this whole time.
Guilty. It's 1 vote for guilty.
You see the kids start to panic, start to cry.
Look, kid. Nothing personal. If this was a normal court, I'd say it's a plea of insanity, but there's nothing I can do.
He turns and looks to the others. He says, there's plenty you can do. You can help me. I didn't know. I didn't have a choice. It found me. I had to.
We all have to vote at least once, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna let everyone else vote first before I jump into it.
Respectfully, Detective, I have to disagree. Not guilty.
Eva just kind of looks over at the doctor in shock.
The kid looks surprised as well.
I can only hope that the next time something like this encounters you, that you will be stronger. But that's out of my hands.
Luis sighs and says, "Not guilty. Living with the consequences should be punishment enough. But next time you find yourself in a situation like this, fight back. Don't do this again."
Howard's just pinching his brow like, that's
Eva?
Eva just kind of stands there for a moment. And she looks this kid dead in the eyes. And she just says, "Name. Whatever this thing was, if it's got a name, we would like to hear it."
He starts, and his mouth disappears again.
Fuck!
He starts to scream and starts to panic. And you see the Proctor's attention shift to you, and his pupils narrow, his eyes sort of... He blinks a little bit, as if, like, staring was actively difficult for his vision.
It wasn't a question, it was a statement.
And he says, "Requests were made. Cannot ask another." And he sort
It
of...
wasn't an ask.
It could be phrased as a question. I don't think it actually counts.
He pauses a minute, and he seems to, like, go back to normal, as if, like, something had been up. He goes back to normal, and he says, what is the phrase? Does not violate the letter of the law, but the spirit of the rule.
It was a demand.
No.
So, just to clarify for the Keeper, Heaton, just because one person voted guilty, does that mean that majority vote rules here, or if one person votes guilty, we have to do this whole thing again?
No, majority, the implication is majority rule. That was, basically, I'm just clarifying what he said. Yeah, it's the way that a regular jury works.
Okay.
So
Duncan is going to put a hand on Eva's shoulder, and he's just like, "Don't push it. It doesn't seem like it's worth it."
I'm just going to look at the kid, and I'm going to say, this might be a mistake, but not guilty.
You see him just collapse, just sobbing, an absolute pile of emotion and fear, just sort of dissipating, just melting off of him as he just cries. And you see the Proctor sort of tilt his head and nod. He bangs the gavel, and the kid flinches, like, bodily, like, hard. And the door at the back of the room opens. And his mouth reappears, he gasps again. The shackles are still on his hands, but the Proctor folds his hands, and just nods, and the kid just nods, panics, and you hear him, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And he just bails, fast as his legs will carry him out. And the moment he steps over the threshold, the doors slam closed. And the Proctor sits back a little bit, and he says, "I will allow a short recess."
Do we have our own room to conjure in?
He sort of thinks for a minute. He says, "No." Well, He thinks for a second, and you see him, for the first time since you've been in here, he actually kind of smiles a little bit, and he says, "I understand the request. Observation is required. Moving to another room would make no difference."
I see. Very well.
We let
Eva
it go. I hope you guys are proud.
We let a kid go. We don't know anything more than that.
who was conscious enough to kill another 13 times.
At the
I
behest
won't
of
disagree
someone's
with
orders.
you, private investigator, but to be quite honest, I'm a detective. If he does it again, if another missing person pops up, I'll know about it.
Assuming any of us get out of here alive.
Assuming, but still, I'm trying to be optimistic, shall we say.
I live by Murphy's Law. If the worst can happen, it will. Whatever happened to that kid is worse than anything that could have happened to any of us.
Hello? He starts waving his hand in front of Eva's face. I'm sorry to be a dick here. We're in the worst that could happen. That thing can get rid of our mouths easily. They can make us go like that.
And how do you know that thing isn't in control of whatever the kid was dealing with?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question, Doctor. Why didn't you use your question for that? We had a guilty plea. We had a motive. We didn't have a name.
It's better in the long run to know what rules are bound in this place. Giving us at least something more physical to work with, for you and I, especially considering our professions, gives us a little bit more leeway so that we can make better judgments.
Besides, getting a name wouldn't have mattered. I asked it in the form of a demand, and his mouth went shut.
You asked it after the fact. He said only 4 questions.
He did say only 4 questions.
During the question phase. It doesn't matter if it's a demand, it's still a demanding question.
She just kind of looks over at Howard and she glares at him. And he's like, you think you have everything figured out?
I don't!
I would like to use my intimidation.
Go for it.
That is the fucking issue.
How would you, before you roll that, Howard, how would you like to contest?
I'd like to persuade.
Okay.
That's a 7%.
Nice.
71. I fail.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
I'm a scary goblin. Oh.
You rolled really well.
Now, mind you, that's 71 out of 60.
So you didn't, I would have told you if you'd have scratched, you're fine. You just fail. It isn't a type of, the intimidation is less, you're not necessarily afraid of her. That's not really how this works. But there's something very unusual to you about, especially with you as someone in your profession who uses their size, their voice especially, to be intimidating in order to, to get your way a little bit. It's very strange to see someone not even kind of react. Eva stands completely still, just the quirk of the eyebrow, the condescension in her voice. It strikes you. You aren't afraid of her, but intimidating is the word. It takes you very aback to see her so unfazed.
Howard tries to catch his composure, starts rubbing his face.
I would like to suggest, if I may, that we might take a short break from each other, because clearly there's some discourse here, and that might affect our decision-making later.
I was going to say, I'm sorry. And also, we can't really separate that easily in this area. And the
you can go to one side of the room and I can go to the other.
The last thing I want to be is left alone in this room that I may die in. I don't know if you've stared death in the face. I have.
I'm a doctor. I don't think I deal with patients that deal with fatal anomalies, shall we say?
Doctor, no offense, there is a difference between dealing with dead people and dealing with the fact you might die today.
And Eva just kind of looks at him and is like, what do you think I carry around a switchblade for? Certainly not for looks.
He pulls out his gun. Why do you think I carry around this?
Before we start show and telling our weapons, calm down, please. The best that we can do is just play along and just not cause much of a fuss. We're going to disagree. That's going to be fine.
Doc?
If we anger him, that's going to be a problem.
Doc, I'm going to say this for myself as a thought from me to all of you and to myself. We have one goal in mind tonight. That is to try to find out why we are here. Not what the rules are, but why we are here. That includes finding out whatever the fuck that thing is. Whatever the fuck that kid was talking about.
If I may, Private Investigator, I respectfully disagree. I think this is just context clues from what this Proctor said earlier. I think we've all committed crimes that we'll be judged for by the end of this night. I think the goal is to get out of this alive.
For what it's worth,
No.
by the way.
Gunsworth?
For what it's worth. When you bring the gun out,
Yeah.
it elicits...
I'm not holding it. It's more of I pulled out the holster and, the gun is in the holster and just put it on the table.
That's what I mean. I don't mean like you're brandishing it. I mean when you take it, out.
Yeah.
The Proctor does not seem to have any adverse reaction to it. In fact, he just continues, like before, to just kind of stare.
It might be kind of useless for me to do a psychology check on him at this point.
You can... Boy howdy, you can sure try.
I can try, but it's probably useless. Yeah, it's useless. It's a 70.
No. You've seen him make a singular expression since you've been here. Real hard to read.
Figured. Well, at least he's not bothered by the gun. That's all I care about right now.
No. He seems to, be aware, and he just doesn't seem to care.
I'm parched. I don't know about you guys, but I'm thirsty.
His expression relaxes a bit. You see him sort of have some kind of reaction to that. I suppose you would be, wouldn't you? You don't think about it very often. Yes. 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 He sort of, you see him, stand again. He kind of unfolds himself to stand, and he takes the glasses off, puts them back in his jacket. And he says, I can do that. And he sort of, you see him, he opens the bailiff door, and he doesn't leave the room, he just opens the door and sort of reaches in as if reaching into a cabinet, and pulls out, small, unlabeled waters. He gives them to each of you. Then I'm going to refuse. He proceeds to go back and refolds himself back up and takes his glasses back out.
Does it look sealed, like it's been unsealed at any chance?
Nope. They're a very...
I open it.
As I was going to say, the bottles themselves are kind of an odd shape. It's most part of water company, part of water company branding is sort of that they're all, the bottles are a particular shape, but they're sort of just cylinders.
It's a weird shape, like what Snapple did. The fuck?
Yeah.
It's like what Arizona Iced Tea did.
Don't get me started.
They're just cylindrical. They're plastic bottles, but they're just cylinders. Totally normal, totally flat. There's no labels on them.
I open it up and I try to take a sniff at it.
Duncan is going to examine it. It just looks like water to him, right?
Yeah.
No smell?
No, it is. Boy, howdy, is it water.
I drink
Duncan is going to drink it.
Eva sees the two of them drinking it.
It's not.
She kind
of. Surprisingly, the strangest thing about it is that it's not cold. It's room temperature. It's not cold, but it tastes like it tastes like bottled water. Like it's got the slightly too crisp taste of bottled water.
the tinny taste.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm not the only person that thinks actual bottled water tastes like shit.
Yeah.
It depends on the bottled water. Cheap bottled water does. It usually has a weird aftertaste.
Yeah.
Welcome to the wonderful world of plastic that wears down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fun fact, the bottled water that I totally hashtag not spawn, the bottled water that I drink out of, they're in metal bottles for that exact reason.
I've been wanting one of those for the longest time. I got one of those shaker blender bottles. But anyways.
So, Eva just kind of sees them both drinking the water, and she kind of... She picks up the glass.
Hydrated, so.
Yeah. She picks up the glass, she looks at it. She's eyeing it quite a bit before she even decides to take a sip.
Sure, it is water.
So the Proctor was standing at a specific position the entire time, right? And he's not there right now.
No, he's there now. He went back. He sat back down.
No, I mean like whenever the witness came in or the defendant came in.
Oh, the door seemed to open on its own.
No, I mean like was he right next to the stand?
Oh no,
standing up?
No, he's sitting down. As far as you can tell, anyway. You didn't. Very noticeably and very concernedly, actually, Duncan, there was no chair. So he's kind of just, as far as you can't see, like it looks like he's sitting, but like on what you're not sure.
Probably on the floor. I mean, he is a big guy.
He's doing them wall sits. He's getting his leg day in.
I take some sips of the water, and I go where the witness was at. And I'm going to stealthily, purposely pour some of the water in that general area, just to keep an eye on what may happen.
He just kind of watches you do this weird thing, and he doesn't move to try and stop you. He's just gonna let you. But he watches you the whole time, just very, almost a little confused.
I can't even hide it.
You can sure try. You can roll a stealth if you want.
Yeah, I fail. I fail by 6, so.
Ooh, would you? Well,
76 out of 70.
You failed. Listen, you failed by 6, and all of you have forgotten. You do have luck points, and you can push your rolls if you want.
Yeah,
if you only failed by 6, that's only 6 luck points to succeed.
I don't know how many luck points I have because I didn't fill that part out. Fuck.
You should have.
I swear I thought I did, but I don't, I can't.
I think you should all have the standard amount.
How much standard?
How much do all of you have?
I have 65.
60.
Yeah.
50.
Cut the difference, I'll give you 55.
Okay. I'm not gonna waste it for this though.
Okay.
It's not really a big worry.
This is your question, and this is your reminder as well. You can push your rolls. You can say that you push and give yourself advantage. You can sure try.
Question for Heaton.
Yes.
During this short break, do we recover sanity?
No.
Nope. That takes a week.
Well, I'm fucked.
You get your sanity back at the end of the session. But this is a one shot, so what you get's what you get.
So Duncan is just basically going to exhale and just be like, So, since we're going to be here for a while, and this is going to be not pleasant, might as well try to do something to distract ourselves. Where's everyone from, then?
Missouri.
Really?
Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
You're hilarious.
No, I'm being dead serious. Hell's Kitchen, New York.
That's fucking pandering.
And you're all for it. Shut up.
I'm upset. I'm upset that I was like, this is fucking pandering. To me,
Well,
specifically.
I was thinking Bronx, but honestly, Howard's attitude, no, it's Hell's Kitchen.
Okay.
California.
Very far out. Chicago. Or, well, Lebanon, actually. I relocated there from Chicago. Much quieter there, if you ask me.
I can't sleep. It's quiet. Makes me nervous.
You see,
Eva.
as he kind
Sorry.
of watches you, you see his like expression change again, and his head turns towards the bailiff door, and it opens, and another person comes out.
It's time to get
Was
back
that
to
so
our
cute?
seats.
This time, it's a woman, a little older, maybe mid to late, mid 40s to like early 50s, maybe, wearing way too much makeup, dressed very well. Clearly, she's fairly wealthy, and she's very pretty. I would like all of you to make a history check for me, please.
Okay.
I'm just immediately glaring the second she comes out the door.
Where's my
57.
history?
34.
Yeah, I'm also going to fail. Yeah, I failed. 41 out of 5.
Yeah.
9 out of 20.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's a.
Ah.
I think that's an extreme success.
Oh, yeah.
Get
it?
Yeah, it is actually. Okay. You recognize this woman, Louis. You recognize her instantly, like shockingly immediately. You have seen her on TV before.
Uh-oh. Okay.
This is, man, I hate that this is the name that immediately came to mind because it's not good, but you recognize she's a reporter.
Okay.
Her name is Helena Magnus.
Helena Magnus, okay.
She's one of the, like, on-the-ground types.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen her before, and she looks almost like was grabbed right off of the set.
Okay, and then, like, what... So, you say news, is this, like, Fox News? Is this, like, CNN?
Like CNN. She's like a... She's not like a pundit, like, she doesn't give her opinions. She's the kind of person who, like...
Just reports.
Who just reports. She's usually on the ground. You see her usually, like, for example, if there's an investigation, you usually see her talking to police. She's the kind of person who, like, goes to the scene of an incident. She's the, like, hi, I'm here live at, whatever.
Okay.
But she's working for fake news, so that's the major... No. Sorry.
You recognize her. We're gonna go with this. We're gonna let the dice tell this narrative. You recognize her for an extreme success, and she recognizes you.
Cool.
Okay.
Interesting.
She looks almost, like, confused to see you here, and you recognize her. You have spoken to her before during certain investigations, off and on.
Okay. And was she, like, more an annoying reporter type, or is this, like...
She's always she's felt a little put on. She wasn't, like, rude to you, per se, but it's one of those kinds of things that you have this distinct feeling that...
Condescending white woman in a thrift store. I got it. Okay.
The Fox News lady. Got it.
I wouldn't go that far. It's one of those things. She's been very nice to you the times that you've spoken. It's just something you have an intuition about these things, and you've spoken to her enough. You've been on enough scenes with her that she's a little, for lack of a better way to phrase it, she jumps the gun a little bit. She's the kind of person who seems to get almost like excited about the prospect of being the one who breaks the story, which seems a little disingenuous to you.
Oh, okay. When I see her, I'm gonna mutter, Mother, that's Helena fucking Magnus. Holy shit.
Who?
Reporters. I've spoken to her before. Fucking shit.
She looks at you, and then she turns and she looks at the Proctor, and you see her get, like, startled. Like she was not expecting this thing to be here. And then she looks at all of you and looks at him, and she goes, "What the fuck is this now? What? Who? Where? What's happening?" And he says, "Defendant, you are being examined for contributing to the deaths of 32. And you see her eyebrows go up immediately, and she goes, "What?" And he says, "And contributing and collaborating with an entity to whom you owe your alliance." And that gets, like, an actual, like, visceral reaction out of her, and she goes, "What are you talking?" And he turns to you, all of you, and says, "Commence," and bangs the gavel on the table. And she doesn't even, like, pay attention to any of you for a minute, and she looks at him and she goes, "Who are you? You have to be one of hers, right? Like, you can't just know that." And, like, she seems more, like, flabbergasted that he knew the last part. Like, that's the thing that she keeps focusing on, is, like, she couldn't have told you. Why would she have told you? You have to be one of hers. That has to be how this works. And she's just sort of babbling as you kind of, like, she's just completely ignored you. She just doesn't, like, she is, like, not angry, but, like, really confused.
Just a question for Heaton, I missed that last part. What did the Proctor say about her?
She also collaborated with an entity, and she has killed 32.
Huh?
No, you said specifically helped kill 32.
Contributed to the deaths of 32.
Yeah. But it also should be noted that she looked like she didn't know what the fuck that was about, unless I'm misinterpreting that.
You said she looked surprised to hear that.
Okay.
I'm gonna fashion a guess she didn't know she was helping.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Much like the kid before.
Now, the kid admitted it. I'm still holding on to that, but still. That's neither here nor there. I kind of wasted my question last time, but I do believe one of us should ask what this entity is.
I would say that's fair. I'm curious myself, seeing as I know this woman.
But before we ask any more questions, let's agree what our questions are before we ask. I jumped the gun too quickly.
Fair.
I'll take the bullet and say I did that. We need a game plan this time. So we already have one question. Doctor?
Thinking about examining her, actually.
We can't do a cross-examination, you know this.
No, I mean physical examination. See if she might actually have anything regarding her medical history that can be told through her appearance as it is now. Whether it is that she's used drugs before, maybe she's on drugs at the very minute, maybe she's just come from the bar, maybe she's a little intoxicated and she's not necessarily panicking as much here. That doesn't sit well with me.
No, I know this woman very well. This isn't drugs or alcohol. I think she doesn't really know what's going on.
Should we ask her
Besides
about a
the obvious, but I mean, like, I don't think this Proctor actually tells anyone what is going on.
That's what I'm saying. We've already agreed on one question, am I right?
Should we ask about what one of the more recent major cases she's covered?
I'm not sure if that'd be helpful.
Would that be something I would be able to answer? Or
Roll a history check. See if you remember.
I
Could
can do
be.
that.
Because it could tell us how she was a part of those deaths.
Oh, 19.
What is your threshold?
For history, it's 20.
Okay.
Damn it.
Oh, that means you just succeed.
Nice.
Very good. Oh,
Right? Yeah, no, my history is 20.
Dio on fucking top of it. Hell yeah.
For now!
You do remember. You think about it for a minute. It takes you a second. You remember that there was something. It takes you. You're like, it was something to do with. You were like, it has something to do with the police, and you're trying to think. And then you remember that it was. She was talking about someone not in your precinct, but another police officer had been busted specifically for copious amounts of misconduct.
Okay. I'll relay that to the rest of them.
You think the misconduct might have been connected to this?
Seems unlikely.
Yeah, I have to agree. I'm gonna be honest. Coming from someone who is a cop, cops are pretty fucking shady.
Look, just because I am not officially a cop doesn't mean I don't know the law. It doesn't mean I don't see this shit. I'm in one of the worst areas of New York City. Do you think I don't fucking see this shit?
Yeah, and I'm in one of the worst areas of California. I wasn't targeting you, asshole. Santa Maria.
Dick.
So we have one question.
We have one question. We may have two. But we have to agree how to A, phrase that question, and B, if we want to have it as the question.
Yes, assuming she doesn't want to tell us the name.
As the other thing, too, she could just refuse to answer or lie to us.
I don't know if the Proctor will let her do that, but... I mean, I'm gonna be honest. The question that I have is for the Proctor himself.
Which would
I
be...
wanna know how much he explains to the people he brings here. If they're told anything at all.
Are you sure we can't just ask something like that in the middle of each one of these?
Well, I mean...
He never said we can't ask him a question in the middle, in between trials.
We can only ask a question to either him or the defendant, and if we do, it's a question used.
During the trial. I'm just saying we need to think and we need to use our questions correctly. As if we don't, we're going in with less information.
I would like to ask the Proctor if this woman is connected with any of the deaths of the kid.
That is a good question.
Agree. Because if anything, it looks like we're getting closer to the top with these ones.
If they're connected, then that leads to a bigger issue.
So, who this entity, I suppose, might be, if they are connected to the previous case, that leaves two more questions to ask. And we can physically go up and examine if necessary.
The woman did say she.
The last guy, he didn't mention any gender or identity. He said they. They is a very broad plural term.
Could be that he wasn't close enough.
True. I mean, it could be distorted in any way possible. Okay, so we have 2 questions. What is the name of the deity, and are they connected are the 2 trials connected?
I'm curious to know what she got out of it. What was her bargain deal? What did she gain?
Fame, fortune, probably.
That also implies if she knew she was involved in this.
It would be telling on several ends.
She seems to know that she's been found out at this point. I'm curious to know the relationship in which she gained something from whatever it was that she bargained with. If she gained something like fame, maybe, but if she gained something else that's a little bit more personal, that might be worth something.
The thing is, she was genuinely... Luis, correct me if I'm wrong. She was genuinely confused when she heard assisted in deaths. But she knew what the Proctor was was saying about. Am I wrong?
And she gave us a gender.
No, you're correct. And
So-
she mentioned that it was a she, but the thing is, even if we have the name of the entity, what does that change? I mean, I doubt you can ask what this entity is or what it does.
It can give us a tangible thing to actually try to think back on. Maybe we've heard the name in passing. I mean, you and I have worked on crime scenes, am I correct? Mine more. Yeah. We've worked on crimes. So maybe we've heard of something. Maybe this could help us out. Any information could help with the overall. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know about you, Miss Eva, but I tend to like to try and get some information out of my patients so that I know how it is that I can help them. What it is that they need so that I can better attend to those needs. My previous question, as I mentioned before, I think would be very much worth it so that we can have a better ascertain as to what sentence we might need to give her.
Could be. Somehow, I get this sinking feeling of doubt that she's even going to think about giving us the name of this entity. That there is another person involved, it would seem.
Who said she had to give us the name?
The Proctor?
The Proctor would be a really good option to ask those 2 questions.
If the Proctor even wants to give up the name.
Well, if the Proctor doesn't want to give up the name, then I've wasted my question. And if he doesn't want to give up the name, that most likely means he won't give up if these are all connected. Then you guys can deliberate a different question.
Hey, Keeper?
Yes.
In preparation for this, since I know what's going to happen if and when I do ask my question, I am going to look into my medical supplies and see if I can pull out a face mask. Just a medical mask.
Go for it. It's 2021. You have a mask on you.
I mean, yeah.
I don't think that's going to do you any good.
Hang on. As everyone should.
Yeah.
Wash your fucking hands. Keep 6 feet away from each other.
Get fucking
Wear a
vaccinated.
mask. Get
All of us-
vaccinated, please.
All of us are following CDC to a ridiculous degree right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're not even on this plane of existence, as far as you know.
Exactly. COVID might have a cure in this plane of existence.
You don't fucking know.
I'm gonna look over at Duncan and I'm just gonna be like, I think given the circumstances, it doesn't matter how you hide your mouthless face.
Well, the defendant doesn't know that that's going to be a problem.
They'll know it'd be a problem wherever my mouth goes.
Would you like a mask?
Howard reaches into the front pocket of his dress shirt. It's like, I have one.
Anyone who doesn't need one, I can provide extras.
I like to imagine all of us like, we have masks.
Yeah, you would.
I think given Eva's declining sanity here, maybe might be a better option for her too. I don't know.
I can't believe COVID is canon in this universe.
Hey, look, stranger things have happened, okay?
No, we're not playing Stranger Things. We're playing Call of Cthulhu.
One last question to all of you before we actually start asking our questions. We're all vaccinated, yes.
Yes, I mean, what do you think? I'm crazy?
Fucking the destruction of tension. We love to see it.
Are you kidding? They offer these bitches for free down at the clinic. What do you think?
They better.
Luis?
Yeah, of course I'm fucking vaccinated. You think I want to get sick from my fucking colleagues? Have you seen my colleagues? Fuck's sake.
No, I don't live in California.
Good.
I prefer to keep my
I live in
clients
Illinois.
alive and not dead. Usually.
Well,
Fucking
anyways,
Jesus.
enough. We have 2 questions confirmed. Duncan, what is your question?
I already gave you my inquiry that I would like to make.
Which is, so we can all be on the same page here.
What she gained out of the relation between her and this entity.
Okay. Luis, do you have anything?
I want to ask the Proctor how prepared these defendants are before coming into here.
No one's going to ask if she had a hand in anything. If she knew
It was
that she
indirect.
involved. If she knew she was involved in anything.
It was confirmed that she was involved, but it was indirectly.
Yes, but indirectly could mean anything.
She visibly had no clue what the Proctor was talking about when he mentioned the 32 deaths. What she did immediately know, however, the fact that she knew that she was working with an entity.
For all she knows, she was working with the entity to boost her viewership for her work. Somebody was on a killing spree.
Not unless it wasn't the viewership she was asking for, but rather a good story. Which could be likely, seeing as how she acted with me on crime scenes, but still.
Wait.
If you were thinking that the child is involved, I would doubt it.
No. It's whatever deity, whatever entity they were working with, were telling them to do it. I'm not saying like, oh, we'd let a killer go. I'm saying you were right. The kid did not know. Again, if it was not possible, I would have given him a plea of insanity. I think that's kind of our answer, if it's true. If it's connected, then that's sort of working in the benefit of each other. It's just a thought.
I mean, that is a possibility.
We each have our individual questions. I would say that we should ask them now.
Okay. I'll ask first, and again, if the Proctor doesn't answer, I recommend that you 3 try to think of maybe a different question to ask, just in case.
I will ask in regards to connection.
Proctor.
You turn, and he, once again, is just fucking staring at you. Huge eyes, big and round, just like before, just observing the whole time. And you notice that when you speak, she finally turns back to you, and you can, like you catch the end of her being like, and pay attention to me! And she just turns and looks at you as well, and he sort of blinks again, and this time he kind of rubs the bridge of his nose a little bit, and he says, yes.
What is the name of the entity that she was working with?
She looks at you, like, she kind of gives you, like, the, oh, come on, and she just looks at you and she goes, entity, what do you think this is, some kind of bad movie? Working with and do you think I'm part of some cult? And he stops, and he just interrupts her, and says, the house. And she just kind of goes quiet, and just, like, stares at him. Did you put your masks on?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you feel your lips close. You don't have to make a sanity check this time. You were expecting it.
And Howard just puts his hands up and leans back into his seat. Just points out.
Oh, you've gotta be kidding me! Unfucking believable.
I'm gonna lean forward. I'm gonna lay the charm down on this lady, and he just basically says, "To be fair, it's not like I'm going to tell anyone. It's just between us in this room. You might as well tell us what you got out of that bargain."
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay.
You know what? I'll give you a bonus die for that as well.
I may not need it. 16 out of 20.
Ooh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And she fucking failed. So she sort of, you see her like, she crosses her arms and shifts her weight to her other leg, and she just, well, she crosses her arms as best she can, I guess. And she just kind of just rolls her eyes and goes, I suppose.
Well, that was my question. Just basically, like, what did she gain out of it?
Oh, okay. You have to ask.
Tell us. What exactly did you gain out of this bargain?
She sort of, she rolls her eyes and she's like, I don't know what he's even talking about. I didn't partner with any, she kind of just sighs and she goes, you think after all of my years on the field and after all the time that I spent that I would be part of some weird cult? Of course not. I didn't partner with anything.
Can I do a psychology check?
You absolutely
Same.
can.
I would like to do the same.
I would like to make
Nope.
73.
So,
89
okay,
out of 30. Ugh.
Yes.
I would like to make a comment, but I don't want to lose my question for making that comment. Is that okay?
Is it a question?
No, it's just
You can speak as long as it's not a question.
okay. Luis will just look at her and raise an eyebrow and say, "Helena," and then he points to the Proctor.
I don't know what's going on. Do you? Are you part of some weird cult? Is that what this is?
No, but clearly you've done something to make him bring you here.
I didn't. I have no idea what's going on.
Neither do we. We really have no clue what's going on here, but I just need you, for my sake, to be honest. Can you at least do that for me, Helena? Please. There's no judgment here.
You feel a thought occurs to you. Your mouth closes.
Fuck!
No!
You asked a question.
You did.
Fuck!
Ah, man.
And she's
Okay.
but I will, for that, make a persuasion check.
Okay. Okay.
You have luck.
31, and my persuasion is the base, which is 10.
You have the opportunity to burn your luck points or contest the roll. You can try again. But you have to remember, there's consequences if you fail again.
How many luck dice do I have to roll?
What is the... You don't have to roll. What is your... What is the threshold for success?
10?
What did you roll?
31.
You would need to burn...
21.
You would need to burn 21 luck points. Or, you can push.
Hold on. And so pushing, what do I have to do for that?
So when you push, it basically... If you say that you decide to push, it gives you advantage. You get to roll again. But... if you fail a second time, it doesn't matter what you rolled, it is a scratch.
And the scratch is
That is a
basically
crit
just
fail.
crit fail. Okay, yeah. I'll push.
Alright. Roll again.
And so is it same, just 1d100, or
It is. You just make the same check again. It's basically you give yourself advantage.
okay. So 2.
Go!
Very good.
Also,
Nice.
let's not forget, I rolled a psychology check as well, so just, yeah.
Very good. Sweats.
Oh my god.
That was fantastic. That was
been
great.
Tighter. Never been tighter.
Oh, I was so afraid.
I could feel that. I felt that. Oh, beautiful. All right. What did you roll, Eva?
18.
What is your threshold?
For psychology, 50.
Oh, that is an extreme success.
Ooh.
Yep.
Also,
So as she's saying all of this, what do I gather from her behavior?
first of all, you get an extreme success. Or no, you get both of you actually, now that I'm doing the math in my head, both of you get a hard success. So you get a little bit more than what you were initially rolling for, because you got over half. Or you got under half. So, for Eva, you can tell from like her body language, you're familiar, especially with this kind of woman. You've had this kind of bitch talks down to you on a regular basis. You can read these kinds of women like books.
Mm-hmm. Tell me what you did, Karen.
She is full of shit.
Uh-huh.
She's absolutely lying. She did know. And for a hard success, she is not scared. She's angry.
Huh. That's more than enough for me.
Wait, hold on, Ava. What was your question again?
Ava didn't ask. She just rolled. She basically rolled an insight check to see if what she said was the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not.
what-
She's full of shit.
She's so full of shit that her eyes are brown. This is what's happening.
What statement did she make that you rolled a check on? I mean,
on the when he said, "What did you have to gain?" and she said, "I don't know what you're talking about. I had nothing to do with this. I don't know what's going on." She's a liar. She does know what's going on,
okay.
and she's pissed. She's pissed to be here. She's not scared.
Okay.
So I rolled a contested check, and I rolled a 24. So you succeed on your persuasion.
Yes.
And you see her kind of like, just set her jaw. And she looks at him and she goes, "Fine."
Alright, and Luis kind of puts his hand on his chest and gives a little bit of a bow as like a small thank you.
Whatever.
I'm gonna ask my question then. Your Honor.
His eyebrows go up. Again, a little surprised to be addressed. Yes?
For this case, and previous case, possibly future cases, are these all connected to each other?
This case, no. She did not know. But others might. I'm not sure. I suppose we will find out together, as far as that goes.
Okay, now I'm nervous because she's clearly full of shit. She knows what she's doing. Are we saying she? This is more of a DM question, but are we saying she didn't know about the entity? Is that what we're saying?
No, she did know. She knew, because her insistence was like, I've never been in any weird cult. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. No, she did know. She was a part of something. She was doing it on purpose.
So the Proctor doesn't know.
The Proctor doesn't know. That's not what he said. You asked him if they were connected. He said no. He said others might be. He's not sure.
Yeah, but you said that she didn't know.
No, she knew. She knew.
I know, but the Proctor said she didn't know.
No, he said
He said she contributed.
These trials are not connected to each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're not
That's it.
They're not connected to it. He doesn't know if the other ones here will be connected in the future. Because your question was, you asked like you asked a question, then you expounded on it. Well, you said, is this trial connected, or any of them connected?
Mm-hmm.
And he's expounding upon the full question, which was, this one is not. He does not know if the others will be.
Okay.
And by the others, I'm assuming the ones today and then
Yes.
other future.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I believe that's everybody, unfortunately. And he nods and he says, yes. Good. And he raises the gavel again and just continues to stare at you and he says, your judgment.
So we all agree she's guilty.
Oh, come on!
What?
No, I was whispering that to everyone.
I mean, she's right there. She's like,
Yeah.
No, I thought we were like further away from her. I'm
oh
sorry.
no, you're like, she's like right there.
Oh no, if that's the case, I'm gonna drag everybody away so we
Then
can
just-
deliberate it without her being nearby. Then I'm going to say,
Where? We can't leave this fucking box!
You cannot leave the box. You are in.
oh, we cannot leave.
No,
the box.
you can just
No, we can scoot to the farthest corner of the box. That's it.
Honestly, I gotta say that it'd be funnier if we didn't move at all and we just basically say like, so yeah, she's guilty, right?
Yeah, just right here. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm right here.
But no, but we can whisper to each other, right? Just
Oh,
out
yeah,
of earshot of
we
her.
can whisper.
Yeah,
we can whisper,
yeah,
but, like-
absolutely. Yeah, go ahead. You just need to clarify.
So
Yeah, sorry. I
I'm
apologize.
basically gonna say to her, like, well, to be perfectly fair, you're not really giving yourself any fair shakes in this trial.
Oh, okay, quick question, Keeper.
Mhm.
Are we retroactively doing what I said?
I mean,
Or we just
I guess now we're rolling with it.
okay?
And she's like, "Oh, you don't know the half of it. You have no idea."
I'm going to grab both Duncan and Howard by the seat of their pants because I am tiny gremlin, and I'm going to pull them to the farthest corner of the box. It's like, I think we should be discussing this in semi-private.
I was trying to until Duncan came in. Sorry.
I'm sorry, the bait was right there. I had to take it.
Anyways, no, but seriously,
See,
does anybody think that sounds familiar at all?
Can
What
I
do you
roll
mean?
something to see if that rings a bell to me?
Go for it.
And
Okay.
Howard, can you
What would I need to
a little
roll?
bit louder?
So,
Sorry.
to see if the house sounds familiar,
Yeah, just in general.
Ooh,
Uh,
yeah, no thing.
this is an exciting one, boys.
Is this a cult?
You need to roll Mythos.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna fail that, so
You have to,
I'm not gonna.
in order to roll Mythos,
Okay,
I will preemptively tell you.
okay. Oh, I got an 11.
Okay, what
Mythos,
were you gonna say, Heaton?
Mythos, do any of you have points in Mythos?
No.
In order to succeed on a Mythos check, you have to roll a 1.
Yeah, I failed. 12.
Okay.
Yeah, no, 11.
Do I dare try to roll that?
You don't have to if you don't want to.
I mean, I'll try it anyway. There's nothing to lose, really.
You can roll
25.
if you really want to know.
You know what? I'm using 11 luck.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna use your luck and close that distance?
Yeah, I'm now at 1 because it was 12 what I rolled.
Okay.
Ah.
I'm
You know
gonna
what?
use 10 luck. I'm gonna use 10 luck just
Okay.
to make it the difference.
All right.
I am not busting 25 and 24 luck. Fuck that.
Deal?
I got a 30, and I'm not gonna push it. Not this time.
Yeah, you got fucking mad lucky that last time.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
I kind of
alright.
don't want to test it. You know.
It takes the two of you a minute to think about it, because it's kind of a broad thing to say, the house. It means a lot of things. And it rings two very distinctly different bells to the two of you. Duncan,
Yes?
the house is something that you have heard mentioned by a few people a couple of times. Both times that you heard the name, it was from people who were on the ward back in Chicago. You weren't totally sure what it meant, but they insisted, and you at first, your surface assumption was that it was gambling related. It's the most common way of it, after all. But now you're not quite so sure. Howard, you have heard someone that you worked for once mention the house. In passing. And you weren't exactly sure. It takes you a minute. You weren't exactly sure the context. It was a long time ago, but you do remember who said it. Some time ago. You don't remember the name, not so much. You remember the company that you worked for that did it.
What was the company?
Because it wasn't something that you were on the books for. But you remember that an entertainment company that you worked for some time ago discussed... At first, you thought it was needing to clean house. That was what you had, again, compartmentalized it as, because that was the thing that made more sense. But no. The way it was phrased was you needed it to be clean for the house.
Coward panics. Not like frantically, not screaming up and down, more of like you could see it in his face.
Well, we're about to see, because the two of you need to make sanity checks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Oh no.
I'm gonna use 6 luck.
Closing that distance.
Because it's
so-
66. So
Yeah.
I rolled zeros across the board. That's 100.
oh my god.
Oh, beautiful.
I like to imagine that this is Duncan
Goodbye,
remembering,
Howard.
like, the psych ward days.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That
Oh,
stuff can
no.
scar you for life. I bet.
Stoked. Alright, I need the rest of you to mute.
Oh. Oh, okay. Hi, Keeper. How you doing?
Yeah. The memory strikes you so quickly. It's a domino effect. You think back to the name, to the place, the time, as if it's slowly dialing it back in for more and more clarity to a moment that you were so sure you had forgotten. You remember that time that you had been asked. You were on call and were asked to assist. You never worked the ward. You weren't cut out for it. It wasn't your job. But being on call and doing emergency, you did need to help when something went horribly wrong. And you remember very, very distinctly that night. You remember the girl that had been brought in because she had been screaming, raving that it was coming for her, that the walls were closing in. And the assumption of the house is coming, everyone there believed, as you believed, that she had gotten herself mixed up with drugs or gang activity, something like that. And you remember very distinctly that while the orderlies went to help you after she'd been sedated and you were patching the wounds that she'd left on herself, you remember this feeling, this pervasive feeling of being watched, of being observed, of feeling like you weren't alone. And you remember this sensation. You enjoyed it. You enjoyed that feeling of being watched, of being observed. You remember feeling almost a little upset that they'd left, that they couldn't see you do some of your best work, truly. That you wouldn't get to take the credit for this, that surely they were going to write it off as routine maintenance when it was so good of you to help her in the first place. You didn't need to be here. And then you remember the thought that followed it. That maybe it was worse than it looked. That maybe when they came back, she'd taken a little more than you had prescribed. Maybe she'd grabbed them out of your hands, maybe she had just gone a little deeper, hit maybe a bit broader of an artery, and you knew, they would be so proud of you for catching it so early, so quickly. That would be noteworthy. That would make sense. And that sensation left you the moment that someone else walked in the room. And the sensation that washed over you immediately was the first time in your entire medical career that you felt a sinking, deep guilt because you realized and managed to scrabble together just a little quicker before they could see that you were trying to do it, that you were going to scratch her throat out. And you don't remember why. And in this moment, you remember that same pervasive feeling of being watched is what you're feeling right now. But you don't feel good in this moment. You don't feel the same excitement about seeing these people. You feel observed. It's not the same. But as everyone in this room seems to be staring at you in this exact instant as you remember it, you are so sure that somehow they can see that memory as well. That they know that you thought about how good it would feel to take credit for that. That she knows that. And you panic. And you lose 15 sanity points.
Okay. Alright. Give me a moment.
You can come back now.
Holy fuck, Heaton, calm down.
Alright,
I want to play more of these games with you, Heaton. That was fucking awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, holy shit.
Thank you.
Okay.
Heaton? You need a hug?
I run these games. I had these things planned out. No, I am not. I don't know why you would. I don't know why you're asking that question.
Do you need
Duncan,
that hug?
Duncan is going to. Duncan is going to.
We love crit fails on a sanity check. We love to see it.
Duncan is going to basically like quietly step away and grab the water bottle that he set next to him at his original seat and just chug it.
As you do that, you see, for the first time since you've walked in here, you see the Proctor slowly turn his head a little as he just sort of... His attention doesn't snap this time, it sort of drifts in a way that if you weren't paying attention to his face, you almost wouldn't notice. To look at you. And Helena's yelling, upset, angry, but you can hear it, because you're focused and terrified in this moment. And you hear him say, "Oh." And then his attention drifts back.
Oh.
So, He looks over at Duncan, a bit confused. It's very out of character for Duncan to be like this right now. At least for what little Howard knows. I remember I was working on a job. The house is familiar. It's an entertainment company, I believe. They wanted to make sure that the place was clean for the house. Under standard ruling, I can't really explain what I did that day, but... yeah, this is a real problem.
At that moment, Eva just kind of fumbles around with her pendant. And it's the first time she's even, like, handled it so much. But it's a weird-looking pendant. It's just, like, this crudely shaped and chiseled out thing wrapped in wire. But she's just, like, fumbling it around nervously for a moment. And it's just like, I'm not sure exactly what the house is related to, or if it's in reference to maybe a group of people rather than a physical place.
It's a cult. If we've learned anything today, it's a cult.
And she's definitely fully aware that she had a hand in helping these people. That much I could tell.
Well, I think it's more she knew she was in a cult rather than the fact that she was a part of 32 people's deaths, but... I don't entirely disagree.
Here's the thing that's going through my mind. We have a motive. She hasn't told us, but she has a motive on wanting people to die. Louise, you are the proof that she has something to gain about people dying. Because if all these people died, then she has views. She has news.
Here's... Again, I would like to say I don't disagree with you, but if that were the case, then she wouldn't have been so... She would have known the details of what happened before I could even share them with her. When I spoke to her on some of these cases, she was always jumping to things. She would say, oh, well, if this happened, then this must have been what happened, and that was entirely the case. I think maybe she knew that these people died. Maybe she knew that it was the house doing it, but it could be that she had no part in the actual killings themselves. She just knew and reported on them.
Eva kind of looks over at Louise and she says, I've been around some really scummy types. And there's a certain type of scum I can't ever get over, and it's the kind that would perpetrate a crime and then turn around and look towards the cops for help. Turn around and help cops as much as they physically could. It's possible being involved is what got part of the excitement for her.
Okay, Louise.
Trust me, I share the same sentiment as you, but it's less helping the cops and more trying to get ahead of them, if that makes sense.
Louise, let me put it like this. In a war, wars are not fought by the rich and powerful. They're fought by the poor and desperate. But the decisions are made by the rich and powerful. But whenever a country commits a war crime, is it the soldiers' fault that that crime happened? Or is it the country's fault? Just because she didn't kill anybody, it doesn't mean she didn't have a hand in it.
True, but then in that case, if we are going by your metaphor, she could just be a soldier too, and the person we're looking to punish is this house entity.
She is part of it.
She is part of it, yes, but so are the people who actually killed however the however many were involved in actually doing the killings, they're soldiers, just like she is.
There was no remorse. I've seen people like her walk around looking down on me, acting like their shit doesn't stink. Meanwhile, they live worse lives than mine.
Eva, I'm just gonna put this out there. You're not really helping your case, because it does come off as you're being spiteful.
It's not spite. She had no remorse.
I'm not saying it is or isn't. I'm saying you're coming off as. There is a difference.
And I would like to give her the benefit of the doubt. I mean, Eva, not... I don't know. I know where you're coming from. I work with those kinds of people every day, and it is hell. It is literal hell. But it feels like, of the two cases that we've been handed, this Proctor character has been handing us the foot soldiers, rather than the ones actually responsible for what has been happening here.
I will say this, even if she's not responsible, she still has a whole lot more influence than the kid did, and no remorse to use it.
The foot soldiers only deal with the remorse. But the people on top deal with the actual punishment. I don't know about you, but she's guilty.
I won't disagree, just... that feels weird.
We woke up this morning in our clothes, in the middle of a courtroom. Weird kinda left the table a long time ago.
Yeah, but even then, this is someone that I've known and talked to. And yet I'm sending her to die? That's on my hands. That is on our hands.
Louise, I don't know how good or bad you were with your job. I could tell you're very proud of your work. But I'm going to tell you this up front. As an outsider looking into the police force, especially in what is quoted to be one of the worst places to be a cop, there are some people that just end up that way. There are some people you'll send to die. And some of those people deserve it.
Do you think I don't know that? Of course I fucking know that. I live in one of the worst fucking cities you can live in for crime like this. You think I don't have to suffer through that? I know that. It just feels weird.
Howard just takes a deep breath. Sadly, something you gotta get used to. I turn over to the proctor. Guilty.
Yes. He nods.
I look over at Louise. Listen, I don't know what your relationship with this woman is. I'm not gonna fault you for whatever decision you want to make in front of the proctor today. But I know the decision that I'm going to make. And I know the decision I have to make based on my own conscience. You can make whatever decision you must for your own conscience. And she looks at the proctor and she says, guilty.
I'm sorry, Louise. I really am.
There's still a possibility of a tie.
Yeah. Two more votes. Duncan?
I'm gonna go last.
Okay.
Oof. Luis kind of is thinking it over. foot's bouncing nervously, and he's gonna give one last look over to Helena. How is she looking?
Afraid. Very afraid. She's kind of gone quiet. She's smart enough to know that saying things in this situation is probably not gonna be good for her. So she's gone quiet. But she looks scared.
Okay. Luis sighs and says, you probably know what exactly you were doing every time that you did whatever you did, but I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. And, he says not guilty.
Gee, now I wonder what this is going to be like if this is a tie.
I'm kind of curious, too.
Same.
That depends. Duncan?
Duncan needs to collect himself, because he knows it's his turn. He just takes a deep breath. Apologies. I need a moment. And he goes back to his seat. He's standing in front of it. And he looks straight at Helena. Not the same kind of, like, charming eyes that he had at the start of this. It's just business at this point. And then he turns to the Proctor. Guilty.
He smacks the gavel on the table. And she doesn't even get to speak. But she opens her mouth to say something. She looks angry. Fear manifesting as a last desperate rage at those who would condemn her, but it doesn't manifest. It strikes you as very strange what happens next.
I would just like to say Luis is gonna look away.
Yeah. Then it's gonna be really weird for Louis. You could swear for a moment as you stand and as you observe that there was someone here. You hear sounds, but like someone speaking in a crowded room, like sort of like when you're in public in a crowd, you hear speaking, but not clear enough in order to distinguish a voice. Maybe it's a woman talking? We can't be sure. You hear it start to get quieter. Yelling, turning softer. You feel something hit the bench, but you don't see anything. At least you don't think you do. The room feels fuller than you can see that it is, and until it just doesn't feel full at all. You sit, and you remember the conversation you had. You remember the judgment you passed. But sitting here in this moment, in this second, as you sit and you think, you can't... You just can't recall a face, a name, almost as if you'd been watching back when you sit in your memories for a moment. as if watching back a scene of a film and one of the actors had been digitally removed. You remember you were talking about someone, you were passing a judgment, you remember talking about the house, about a crime, about a death. The conversations are there, but the person themselves seems to be just gone. Your recollection fading more and more until you go from a hazed silhouette to a vague recollection of a voice. Just static. Just silence. I need all of you to make sanity checks for me, please.
Oh boy.
Yikes.
Let me double check my
8%! Fuck
my.
yeah, I don't die!
16.
Oh no.
77.
83.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna push. I'm not gonna use the luck.
Okay.
I can't.
No, okay.
No.
For Louis, it's mitigated. You didn't see her disappear. So it doesn't affect you the same way. And Eva, it sort of just slips from you, like you can't, like waking up and being unable to remember a nightmare. But Howard and Duncan, the two of you try so hard, you scrabble to hold on to it. No, you were sure, you were positive. You knew for a fact that you heard her, that you were there, that you... But it's gone. It's gone, and you can't bring it back. It's been taken from you in such a visceral way. You can feel that this person has just simply been redacted, and it isn't until the door to the other end of the courtroom closes that it really sinks in for you that while the others were content to just sort of let the memory of the person they condemned sort of just disappear, she's not gone. She didn't die. You didn't kill her. Whoever it was that was here. It dawns on the two of you in this moment as that door closes and as the Proctor folds his hands and begins to consider something slowly. You have unwritten her from the perception of others. She will live. She will walk amongst her peers. But to them, this person no longer exists. You each take 10 points of sanity damage.
Fuck.
That's not good.
Down to 50.
The Proctor sits, and he thinks for a moment. He considers instead of staring as he did before, and he looks at all of you for a moment, not the wide eyes of before, but a more relaxed expression. I want to say that I think, and he seems to trail off, again, trying to think of the word. I think you are unique. In such a way that I can't... No, don't think I could name. find no enjoyment. But it is the first time in such a time I have felt... He sort of furrows his brow as if the words are just a little too far, and he says, interested? Interested. Intrigued? Something between the former and the latter, I guess. Don't know. I've forgotten how to... He sort of furrows his brow and he rubs the bridge of his nose again, and he says, speaking is difficult, but He sort of like looks up at the ceiling, like not looking at anything, but sort of just up in thought. He says, I am not surprised by the outcome so much as how you arrived there, I suppose. Yes. Yes. Will not be long before there is another. And I think he looks towards the door for a minute, like a little too long, and then says, I think that will be the last. Yes. Yes, I found it's easier to make a decision this time. You make it much more... the way to phrase it. Not easy. Simple? Means the same thing. I don't know. Perhaps it is easy. I don't know. No. Yes. No. Yes. Yes, that's the word. He kind of readjusts his glasses and he says, I prefer not to expose others, but it is the nature of the procedure, the examination. But I would apologize, but it would imply remorse, and to be transparent, do not feel it would be a platitude, and I think not any comfort. Right. Yes. You had, he does the thing where, like, you close your eyes kind of tight, like, to stave off a tension headache. And he says, you, said something earlier about, questions you had for the procedure. Had asked, earlier if things were understood, but I suppose it was, there was less transparency, less clarity. Yes, clarity than I had thought. You may ask about the procedure if you desire, in what little time we have remaining. If you can better understand what it is taking place should you desire to understand it all.
To freely ask.
Yes. There are things I cannot answer, or... He kind of tilts his head again, like he's listening to somebody else, and says, no, cannot answer. But, simple things. In regards to the procedure, I can assist in clarity.
I have a couple of questions if I'm able to ask just freely.
Yes.
Are we able to freely ask the others questions in our procedures?
Of each other?
Yes.
Yes. Only I or the defendant are one question each.
Okay. The other I have, then, is... what happens to us if we're found guilty?
Depends. By the nature of... He sort of... You see him start to say a word, and then second guesses it, and says, no. By the virtue of, the process. Yes, the process. The punishment suits the crime.
So, an instance of fate's worse than death.
He looks a little, his eyes kind of narrow a little bit, but not like in anger or upset, in the closest thing you could imagine to confusion. And he says, why would you assume that death would be the worst?
Maybe for some of us it's something we hope for.
Then no, I suppose it wouldn't be a very suitable punishment then, would it?
I guess not.
Interesting.
I'm guessing you guys have questions.
Howard is... Have you ever seen someone cry, but not audibly?
Yes. Constantly, in fact.
Hi, yeah, I do that on the regular.
I was about to say, he says to a room full of people with depression, yes.
No, it's more of like terror crying.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I've panic cried, hell yeah.
Yeah, constantly.
You know my conditions, yes.
Howard's in... Well, then to the audience. Howard is... His face is... His hand is covering a majority of his face. In the process, he is more concerned about trying to hold in any emotions to the point where he does not care that his glasses are off kilter, covered in moisture, and that the tears are running down his face extremely quickly. He is afraid of what will happen to him. Are we all to be punished?
Not necessarily. Not in so many words, no.
I need to sit down.
Feel free.
Duncan is not going to say a word, and he's going to take his water bottle and just walk around the court a little bit. He just needs to walk it off.
Howard tries to readjust everything, trying to wipe the tears from his face, but it's clear he's like having a massive panic attack at the moment.
He looks at Louis. He says, do you have any?
Louise.
Louise, sorry. Looks at Louise. Do you want to maintain clarity?
The people who come in here when they do,
Yes.
do they know that this is happening?
No.
Or do you just bring them?
I bring them when I have the chance.
And these people, when they're brought here, is it because they've committed any crime, or is it because they've committed crimes too, in relation to entities?
Well, it is... He sort of tilts his head and he says, both in a way. I find it is my position, if you will pardon the digression for a moment, to see what humans find. He sort of thinks, like you see him like making the same expression, like he's combing for a word. Inexcusable. Because it is very strange, you see. People are all... There are things that are agreed upon, and heinous, terrible things that are done to one another regularly. And of those things, a handful of people have a handful of different answers, you see. And I find it rather fascinating, the nature of things like hypocrisy, like justice, by its own virtue. I think it's very strange. Justice to one is unfairness to another. It is nature of humans to define these things by their own nature. And I am both, I suppose, an intermediary, and yet not, I suppose. He rubs the bridge of his nose again and he says, it is easier, I suppose to say. No. Those who stand before you are being punished. For... Well, he sort of thinks a minute and he says, I suppose you could ask, as I don't know in the moment. But for doing things that violate even the most basic sense of human decency. And I see that some of you, all of you, I suppose, have different reactions to that. He gestures to the room as a whole and he says, as you can see, I'm here to examine you. Punish, not necessarily. Punishment warrants an offense. And, to be frank, to me, he leans forward and his eyes get really wide again. Every sin you could ever commit does not warrant a footnote to someone like I. The most grievous, terrible things that you have ever done, every crime, every act of selfishness, of pain, of suffering, utterly and completely insignificant. But he leans back. To someone who sits beside you, perhaps, there is no greater monster in this very room. Will I punish you? Perhaps, perhaps not. And he looks far more intently at Louis in this moment and says, "But I don't have to, do I? Humans do it so easily themselves. Yes? I need you to make a sanity check."
Okay, yeah. Louis gulps at that. Louis, pardon, fucking shit.
I got you fucking up your own character's name. It's a good sign.
Legit, what helps me remember.
Okay, so your hell moment. You are very intimately familiar with that sensation. More so than a lot of people would think. You know very well what it's like to be punished by others for something that at first doesn't seem like much really of anything at all. You don't know exactly how you would describe that feeling. And you know truly that you can't tell which is worse. The sensation that you are being punished by someone else, that you are seen as a monster for something that ultimately you had no control over, or the alternative, because somehow, some way, the understanding is almost worse. You almost wish that it was a universal decision, that you could have solidarity in knowing that what you did was wrong, that what happened was wrong. But you don't. People try to understand, they try to empathize, they try to help. But it makes it so much worse because it puts that seed in your mind that maybe what happened to her wasn't that bad. And that feeling makes you hate yourself more than anything any person could ever say to you. I need you to take 5 points of sanity damage.
It was them, by the way.
Oh, them, sorry.
How many points?
5.
5? Okay. Luis is looking pretty bad. You see him just kind of lean forward and prop his elbows on his knees and just kind of put his forehead in his hands, and he's just thinking and not happy about it.
Howard takes note of that.
Again, his head turns And he gestures for Duncan to take his seat.
Nods and takes his seat, and he just says, "If I may, one last question before we continue."
He looks towards the door that starts to open, but then the door closes itself. Yeah?
What will happen to us after all is said and done, when all the judgments have been made and all punishments have been given out? What will happen to those remaining?
I suppose that depends. It depends. Time is not up. A decision cannot be made. We cannot make decisions from one choice. Two can form a pattern or can prove the rule. 3 times. 3 times our pattern. Yes. Yes, 3 times our pattern. The door opens. Another man, this time. Older, like the woman. Tired. He looks exhausted. He walks in slowly, kind of looking around, and he looks at the Proctor. And there's a moment of recognition, and his shoulders drop. And you just hear him go, "Again." And the Proctor looks at him and says, "Until a decision is made," and gestures for him to stand. He looks just defeated. He doesn't stand in the middle of the room, he sits. He doesn't sit in a chair, he doesn't sit on the tables. He just sits. And the Proctor nods to the witness stand, and he says, "Do what you need to do." He thinks and sort of tries to make a decision about it for a moment. And then nods and says, I suppose the ceremony's a formality at this point. Yes? Yes. Okay. He turns and looks at you, and he raises the gavel. The defendant is charged with assisting in the deaths of 50. Commence.
Does he look familiar?
No. Not at first brush, anyway.
Would look familiar to me?
Roll a history check.
I'm using a different set of dice. I'm not going to trust the other one.
May I
17.
also roll a history?
Yes, you may.
It's a fail.
Fuck, I forgot the rest of the sentence. I'm an idiot. He is charged with assisting in the death of 50 in the service to an entity.
3% out of 5.
Oh, very good, very good. I'll let you two do okay, and I'll let you two roll as well.
74 out of 5.
Nope.
Oof.
And this is history, correct?
Yeah.
I got 54 out of 20, so no.
No. Eva, you absolutely recognize him. It takes you a minute. He's not as striking a figure, but it's the outfit that gets you. You saw this man be charged on television.
For?
They said murder, but you distinctly remember that no bodies were ever actually found, and that they tried to... The big media circus around it was that they tried to get him to say what happened, and he wouldn't. You had a girlfriend who was very, very into the into the trial, very big true crime nut.
Mm.
The number, though, feels wrong. You distinctly remember that it was only 4.
Oh. I'm going to relay this to the rest of the group. And I'm going to tell them, listen, I've seen this guy on the news before, but I don't remember anything about 50 people. As far as I knew, only 4 were mentioned. So unless the Proctor and the others know something we don't.
I doubt it.
Do you remember what state this was in?
Do I, Keaton?
Yeah. It was in your state.
Oh!
That's why it wasn't anywhere near you. It was near a bigger city than where you worked.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But you remember that it was that's why it was more of a media circus that you would recognize than anybody else, is because it was a bigger deal for you than it was most other places.
Right. So yeah, I relay that as well. It was like this was in my home state, but not in my area. It was too small a town in my area. It just reached there, but it seems he was already charged for murder. I don't know what the result of that trial was, or even if there was one yet.
He was just charged. He was just found guilty. You would actually know this, so I'm giving you this as well.
Aha, okay.
He should not be in prison yet. He has not been sentenced.
So, right. Yeah, he hasn't been sentenced as far as I know. What I know so far is that there were for sure 4. I don't remember any implications about 50, but then again...
Assisted and murdered are 2 different animals in the eyes of the law.
This is true.
Either way, if he's going to be tried and sentenced...
Well, he's already going to be punished even if he leaves here.
I don't see much point in really bringing him here.
No. Probably because there's another 46 that he has yet to answer to or something.
So what do you think that we ask about what happened with the other 46?
I suppose it's a good question to ask, but I'm not sure if it's a question that we should ask him or the Proctor, just in case he lies or something.
He seems to know what it is that he did and the gravity of what he did. He's been here before.
It could be he believes he's been here before. Just because...
he was here and the people before us couldn't decide if he was guilty or innocent.
Or maybe they decided not guilty and he just went on killing anyway. Maybe the number was lower then.
Could be.
I would like to ask how he came to know about the house.
No, we don't even know if he's
We
connected.
don't know if that is actually connected to this one, and even then... I don't know if it's even worth asking at that point.
Would you just like to ask about the rest of the 46?
I would. Those seem a
think
bit
we
more
should.
important considering that our homes have basically reported that there were only 4, which is a smaller number, significantly.
I suggest if we can't think of any other names, we should ask at least the Proctor if this is connected to the house in any way.
That would
If we
definitely
can't
be a
think-
question.
If we can't think of any other question,
Or at least ask which entity it is connected to, if not the house.
I think it'd be better if we just ask what entity are they connected to.
Right.
I think Howard should ask the same thing. What entity are they working with?
Scarlet thinks Duncan... What do you think Duncan should ask?
I think what Duncan should ask is actually what Eva should ask, because, like, it's more pertaining to her. So if that is the case, then Duncan needs to come up with a different question.
Yeah. Which is what's separating the 4 from the other 56?
46.
46.
46.
But either way, I don't think that the numbers really matter to him as it does to Ava.
I'm gonna be completely honest. There was a moment I was thinking in character. We've established there are punishments worse than death.
Mm-hmm.
I almost had a moment that would have been pure evil that would have made everybody feel uncomfortable of Howard standing up and shooting the man in the face.
I do that.
I want to propose to you.
Yeah, to not. Yeah, I know.
No. I want to propose. I want to propose to you. Literally, nothing is stopping you from doing that.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've already established nothing is stopping me from doing that.
This is false. There is nothing, and one large Mexican man stopping you from doing
that. I'm not going to stop you from doing that.
I'm gonna do something else. Trust me.
Okay. I'm gonna do something
I got
worse.
a different plan. No. It's a growth moment
Good.
that only Heaton and I really know. So
The benefits of being the keeper.
being the keeper.
I am the keeper.
Keeper.
I am the keeper of the secrets.
See, now I don't feel so bad about the
an
kid
officer
because
of the law.
See, now I don't feel so bad that we let the kid go, because now it's just like, well, he was going to be punished no matter what we decided in there.
Yeah, he's most likely gonna come back now. That's the worst part.
Oh, I could have. After the game, if you want, I can tell you what would have happened to him.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
But
about
anyways,
all of this
questions
stuff.
now.
Yeah.
Okay. So
We have two
we got
questions.
one question. Actually, 2 questions.
We need 2 more.
I want to ask if he knew and completely understood what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because I feel like
that might be a bigger factor.
yeah, like if he knew what he was doing and knew people would die because of it, then he'd have a little bit less sympathy.
Yeah.
Well, in Luis's case.
Yeah.
It would also help me kind of get a good psych read on him, I guess.
I'd also put this out there that would lead to an interesting question that just went through my mind. Do you feel like you deserve what is coming to you? Because no matter what, either here or back in the real world, he's going to be punished.
I can ask that question.
You sure?
Yeah.
Everybody else sign off on that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I think
Okay,
we have
so
our 4
just
questions.
to reiterate, the 4 questions are...
What is the entity?
Mm-hmm.
What separates the 4 people from the rest? Louise, what was yours again? I forgot.
Did you know what you were doing?
Did you know what you were doing?
And
Or did you know and understand what you were doing?
did you know and understand what you were doing?
And do you
And-
feel that the punishments either here or in the real world where you were about to be sentenced are justified?
Do you feel like you deserve punishment?
Do you feel like
I
you
think
deserve
it'd be-
punishment? Okay.
I will go down the. I will just go down the order then.
Okay.
Before any of this happens,
Yeah.
Howard reaches down to his pistol, pulls it out of the holster, pulls out the clip, launches out one of the rounds, hands the pistol over to Louise, and hands the clip over the magazine over to Eva. The clip,
what?
not the. I don't trust myself right now.
The Proctor takes note. You see his wide eyes go a little bit wider. He goes, oh.
Louise will take the clip and he'll expose his
No,
own...
I hand the clip over to Eva. I hand you
you
the
got.
gun.
I have the empty gun. He'll take the empty gun and put it into the empty holster that he has, and then he covers it with his trench again.
Thank you.
Eva's kind of holding the magazine, and she's just like, I don't know why you thought I would be more trustworthy than you right now, but sure. And she puts it away in her clutch purse. Yes, she has one.
Of course. So we'll go down the order. We will start with the numbers. Are you asking him or the proctor?
I guess we're asking him, right?
We are.
Okay, just making sure.
What was the question regarding the numbers again? Like,
what separated the 4 from the other 46?
Fair, okay.
He sort of sighs a little. He says, towards the end, I got sloppy, I guess. Either that or they didn't want for as much.
This is gonna sound strange, but can I do a psychology check on him as he says this?
Yeah, for sure.
Same.
I would like to make one as well.
69.
Nice.
This is what
19.
I got a 19.
69 out of 30.
I got a 14 out of 50.
Jeez.
19, baby.
19. I'll give the regular success first, and then Eva got a hard success. He seems honest. He's very tired. He's kind of hit a point where there's no point in lying, really. It's less exasperation and more just exhaustion. He's at the end of his rope. There's not a whole lot more he can do. He's sort of hit the... You can tell he's hit the point where, like, he can't dig himself a deeper hole.
So he just said, fuck it, I'm guilty. It is what it is.
But you, Eva, note there's something else to it. He's too tired to lie. But it seems like the remorse for it is mixed.
Mixed?
Yeah, it seems like he feels bad, certainly. But maybe not as bad as he should feel.
More just disconnected, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm.
It isn't as if he enjoyed it. It isn't even like he didn't feel anything. He feels guilt, you can tell, because the way that he says it is like this is clearly a question he's had to answer before. But the repetition of it has sort of emphasized that, fuck, that's a lot. Your second question was, what was the entity? And I'm assuming you were asking the proctor?
I am.
Okay. He says, leave goes by the prognosis.
He nods.
Different ones.
Then the next one was did you know and understand?
Yeah.
He sort of sighs. And he sort of looks at the proctor, who is sort of ignoring him. He's very focused on the 4 of you. And he says, it was so clear. I knew what would happen. Wasn't another way it could have happened. But I had hoped the first time would fix it. That she'd just come together. But it was always something else. It was 1, and then it was 2, and it was 5, and it was 20. I knew it kept happening. I knew she kept just needing more, but it fixed her. God, nothing else fixed her. I was so tired of watching her just get so tired. I wanted to help, I did what I could, and I knew it had to take from them to give to her. I didn't watch. But I knew what it was doing. It couldn't have happened any other way. I didn't see it, but I know. I'll always know. And the last question I believe you wanted to ask answered was,
Do you believe you deserve punishment?
He almost kind of just chuckles a little bit, just bitter, and he says, I don't know anymore. At first, no, I did what I needed to do. I solved a problem that needed to be solved, but God, they don't know. They don't know what happened. They don't know what's happening. And I think every moment that they'll never know what's happening or why it's happening. Maybe that's what it wanted. Maybe it just wanted more people like me. I can't face another person. Not after all this. Not when oh God. He puts his head in his hands and he doesn't necessarily start to cry, but you can tell that, like, just facing it is hard. And then Proctor turns, looks at you, raises its gavel, and says, "Your verdict?"
I wanna say not guilty, but I also just wanna say we need to put him out of his misery.
No, this is the part where I don't think we can win.
Let me put it to you this way. Would you rather he faces justice here, or would you rather he faces justice with the people?
Which is a fate worse than death is actually the better question. Facing what you did in front of other peers, or facing what you did in silence?
Well, regardless, if we say not guilty and he dies, then at least in death he'll be with whoever he did this for. Maybe.
We don't know that he dies. All we know is that we're saying guilty or not guilty. How they punish him is different.
He was caught killing 4 people.
There's no way they're gonna let him go on anything lighter than a life sentence.
It's not
He's
only
gonna
that,
die in prison.
You said you lived in Kansas, right?
Missouri.
Worse. That's a death sentence state. They're going to put him to death if we bring him back.
Here's the thing. I don't think he would be against that. He said he can't face anyone after what he's done. I think if we let him go out there in the world again, he's just gonna end up back here, and the cycle's just gonna repeat itself. Maybe that's been his punishment this whole time.
That's the thing that's been going through my mind, too.
If we say guilty in here, though, the punishment may be different. And he may still end up with that he doesn't want.
Not just knowing how he's looking. I think he's being punished enough as it is.
And sending him back over to the people. That's one final serious punishment before he dies.
He has to get face to face with it. You want my honest opinion? Him coming back here is the worst punishment he could ever do.
Agreed.
So if we say not guilty, there's a good chance he'll come back. If we say guilty, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back anyway.
I think we have a verdict then?
Not entirely. I mean, the only thing we've established is that whether we say guilty or not guilty, he's just gonna come back here, right?
We'd be pushing this stress onto someone else.
And we need to keep in mind that if we say not guilty and he does leave here and he doesn't come back, then there are 4 other people like us who don't have to deal with this. With this whole situation.
Maybe a long time until he actually gets a punishment, considering how well the justice system is actually run when you think about it.
I won't disagree, but again, you heard him. He doesn't want to face other people. So if it is a longer time, that's more people he faces. It's one
That's
big
true.
final punishment before he's killed. And
It's very
I
true.
think I'd rather see him go through the justice system than to just end it all here, you know?
We don't even know if it would end here if we said guilty in here.
That's not entirely how I mean. I mean... If we say not guilty, we don't know if he'll just disappear from the real world, or if he'll just be found dead in his cell, or anything like that. And honestly, from the standpoint of someone what's the word? Fuck. From the standpoint of someone who's spoken to victims' families, that's way too easy a punishment for people like him. There's no satisfaction in an easy death like that. Not for the victims, at least. Not for their families.
Actually, studies have shown that public execution and things of that nature doesn't help grieving families at all.
I'm aware, but at least they know.
True.
At least they know he won't hurt another 50 people.
Howard looks at Eva, Duncan, Luis. I'm voting not guilty. I say we skip the dramatics and just tell each other what we're voting.
Not guilty.
Also voting not guilty.
Not guilty.
Proctor, we came to a verdict.
Good.
All of us say not guilty.
Interesting. He looks down at the man who sighs and says, I suppose that's the better solution, isn't it? Yes, I suppose it is. Will I see you again? No. No, I think this will be the last time. He nods and gets up and leaves. Unceremonious. As he leaves and the door closes, Proctor sort of unfolds himself from the desk again. Puts the glasses away, and he sort of approaches the bench. He's much taller, directly sort of looming over you. I've come to my decision. I would like to extend to you a choice. I was not forthright with you when you arrived here. Because if I had told you the detail, I don't think I'd have gotten the honest reactions from you. I did not choose you. Others did.
Others?
He looks at Eva, just kind of turns slowly, and he says, you know, all of you have a victim. Someone who believes that you deserved judgment, punishment. And I wanted to see if that was true.
He was smirking at the thought.
But I am curious. So I will give you a choice, as you have proven to me that you are not as simple as some of the others. You are given the choice to enter your plea. Should you plead innocent, you will tell me who is guilty. Should you plead guilty, you will be punished. Decide.
The smirk kind of just goes away from Eva's face at that moment. No.
Howard stands up. Guilty.
I see. I will have you all enter your pleas.
Before I do, may I ask a question
Do that.
to the other jurors?
Of course. Take your time.
What's your thoughts on the afterlife? Do you think it's a place where we get to meet those we've lost?
I hope.
As nice of a thought as that is. No.
I was going to hell. I always knew it.
Eva just kind of takes a big sigh and she's like, all I've had to hold on to was that hope. Given everything that's led me to this room, I think it's safe to say that that doesn't exist anymore. Guilty.
Luis sighs and clutches at a necklace that he has of two small, like, kids' rings, and he sighs and stands and says, "Guilty."
I see. Good. Good. You feel yourselves become very tired. Your bodies become heavy. Your eyes start to close. You don't feel yourself hit the floor. But one by one, you do. And when you awaken next, your hands are chained together. You are pushed through the darkness and into the light. As you stand alone, staring at an unfamiliar, yet somehow strangely recognizable face, as 4 people look back at you. The defendant is accused of corroborating in death and collaborating with an entity. Commence. That is the end of Call of Cthulhu Examinants.